You have access to so many tools to really tune into your potential, create the reality that you want to experience, and really lean into aiming, becoming, creating a journey to experience the best of who you are, everything that you know your soul wanted to experience and was meant for this time around. I'm going to talk about this in a couple of different ways, and hopefully you will discover, one or two or three things that, will help you shift your mindset, your perception of reality, so you can feel amazing, tune into your potential, and be your authentic, brilliant, infinite self. Welcome to Infinite You. I am Dr. Sherry. I am so glad that you are here joining me right now. So, I want to dig into this topic. It is huge, and I will make more than one video about it. But I mentioned at the very beginning of this video that I'm talking about the idea of tools. Everything in this human experience potentially can be perceived as a tool or an experience or a challenge or an opportunity to shift your perception and see that see that challenge as an opportunity for a solution. So what I want to talk about first today is the idea of the duality in which we live. It is the nature of being on the planet and the bigger picture of non duality. And I'm bringing that up because duality, being an entrepreneur most of my adult life, and definitely, having created a lot of experiences where I needed to tune into what I wanted to create and then with that feminine energy and then bring it to life with aligned action with that amazing, powerful masculine energy, right? Like my PhD is a really good example of that. But I don't want to get that into that now. But basically, like in 30 seconds or less, the moment that I received my master's degree and I saw all of the doctoral students walking on stage, I knew that that was my next step. I could feel it. And so the inspiration, the idea, the vision, all of it came to me channeling the energy from source and creating an idea, inspiration, clarity that that is what I wanted. And then I took the steps, the aligned action to make it happen. So that is the nature of duality. It is the yin and yang. It is the masculine and feminine. It is, as above, so below, right? We're living in a three-dimensional reality. We definitely have accessed fourth dimensional reality with our beautiful, amazing intellectual energy that is so brilliant in terms of human consciousness. And it just gave me an idea for another video, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Consciousness is in everything, absolutely everything. You have access to that energy all the time. And really, what when your soul is whispering in your ear, nudging you, tapping you on the shoulder. Sometimes it takes getting hit over the head for us to really lean in, listen, and pay attention to the bigger purpose of why we're here. For sure, it is all about creating. For sure, it is all about, really leaning into channeling those creative impulses and then taking action to bring them to life. So, duality is a beautiful, amazing tool that we humans actually have access to in a really profound way. And it's kind of like why I'm always talking about, flow in other videos and why I offer, coaching and programs that have to do with the idea of Zen flow. It is masculine and feminine energy. It is tuning into your higher consciousness, your soul's purpose. If you know that you're called, some of us are not aware. You're probably watching this video because you are definitely aware and you just want to take it to the next level. So, I'm talking about duality and how they can be a tool that you can use to help you lean in, find even more flow, manifest more efficiently, I guess that's the best word, and just really see your life and realize everything, your dreams, your desires, your goals just come to life. So think of duality as not being separate from all that is. Think of duality as a beautiful tool on earth in your physical body, using that fourth dimensional reality, that part of your intellect, to listen, shift your thoughts and beliefs in a way that are really aligned with who you are and what empowers you, and then take that aligned action. So, duality is a part of this earthly experience. It is physical and non-physical. It is masculine and feminine. It is the difference between above and below. Now, what is one energy where there is no duality, that non-duality? So I just mentioned as above, so below. And on one level, in a three-dimensional world, there is a duality to that. We're on Earth, and, the idea of the heavens being above, right, leans us into the idea of duality. However, heaven isn't above. The energy, the quantum field is everywhere. We are in it. There is no non-connection. There is no separation. And I can talk about this in a lot of different ways, but I like to think of non-duality and the quantum field, and we are part of all that is this beautiful quantum blanket that is beyond infinite, that is multi-dimensional, that is a part of the universe and the multiverse and all that is. On a personal level, philosophically and spiritually, I think of it as God's mind. I think of it as one mind. So whatever you are channeling, whatever creative insight, impulses, and creative downloads you may be experiencing, they're coming from all one mind. Think about it like this. If you've ever had like an amazing, brilliant, creative idea, and you're thinking about doing something about it, you want to do something about it, you have it like in your notes, in your phone, on a notebook, however you decide to record your brilliant creative ideas, and you're going to do it and you're going to do it and you don't get around to it, and then about 6 months later someone else is doing that idea and you're like, oh my God, but I thought of that, I know that I thought of that. And that's exactly what's going on with this idea of non-duality and of one mind, of God's mind, of the quantum field, of the universe, the multiverse. It's all the same thing. Part of it, your ideas and your creative downloads, are the non-physical, the energetic aspect, and the taking action in your beautiful human body, where you get to research, write, create, share, deliver, make a product, find a solution, offer a service, offer your wisdom and your intellect, all of the things that you do to have impact, receive money energy and compensation for the impact that you are creating. It's such a beautiful, amazing process. It's such a gift that we get to have in our physical reality. And so that's really, really a massive, amazing tool and mindset and multidimensional mindset for you to understand that every problem and challenge really is a solution in disguise. And it really is about perceiving yourself and life and everything that you are creating, and how powerful you are as a co creator of your reality. Remember, shift your mindset. If you're feeling separate in this duality, if you're feeling really three dimensional or even stuck in your head in that fourth dimensional energy, know that you can move into the energetic aspect, the non physical, to center yourself, to ground yourself, to remind yourself of how creative and powerful and how much potential you have. So think of duality and non duality as a way that you can, as a tool, and a way that you can shift your mindset and your perception. Remember, your mindset is only a perception. Shift your mindset and your perception so you can get unstuck. See yourself as, being way more than just a physical being that is separate from everything else, that you are always connected, that your inspirations mean something, that your creative downloads come from above, around, everywhere, right? You are part of it. You are tuned in. You are one mind. So I really want to emphasize how valuable of a tool that can be to get your mindset shifted, back on track, flipping a switch at whatever level you need to just sort of see things in a different way and yourself in a different way and what you're capable of creating. Definitely use it as a tool to really tune into your potential. Because I do think, and I mentioned this in another video, the power of positive thinking is hunky dory, right? I don't know where hunky dory came from. The power of positive thinking is hunky dory, but it still keeps you in your head. So positive thinking can become energetic if you really, really believe, oh my gosh, how could I say this? Let me think of an example. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. I'm saying the words, it's in my head, it is a thought, it's in that fourth dimensional energy. But what if I keep saying that until it becomes my reality, until my subconscious says, oh, yeah, everything always works out for me? Keep saying that. Have that be your mantra. Test it out. And then look at the serendipity that happens, as a result. I just got a flat tire, not a flat tire, but like a very, very, very low pressure tire. And I popped into a gas station to, just see how flat the tire was. And I think that the tire air thing wasn't working. And I looked over, and 50 feet away, there was a tire shop that they were kind of on the verge of closing. And I pulled up, and a very kind young man put air in all my tires. It was amazing. So you'd never know. Like, pay attention to that serendipity. Everything always works out for me. Try to shift your intellectual thoughts about what you're creating and doing and who you are into the energetic aspect. That's where flow comes in. That's where you are entangling with the quantum field in a really powerful way, and definitely having a ripple effect and sending a message that will help you feel connected when you feel separate, help you move forward when you feel stuck, help you get focused when you are not sure, help you get clarity when you're feeling, you know, foggy brained and out of sorts, right? So kind of go back and forth in using your mindset in a multi-dimensional way. Three-dimensional is great when you want to get certain things done and just enjoy life, and remember, like, your five senses, they're interpreting your reality and information all the time. And that's another tool that that probably deserves its own video. But think of your five senses: your hearing, your sight, your sound, your taste, your touch, and then of course your sixth sense, your intuition. You're interpreting information all the time to make sense of it, and you can shift how you're experiencing your reality at every time. That definitely is another video, but for sure it is really about breaking through the quantum field. So, tool number one, really lean in, understand the difference between, duality and non duality. You are both, you have access to that all of that energy and wisdom when you shift your mindset into knowing who you are, what you want, and all of the possibilities and how you can create and construct your reality to really make it be what you want it to be. I kind of, I'm kind of almost at 20 minutes, I think, or so in this video. And maybe I'll just share one more tool, because as I'm talking, I'm thinking of all of the other videos that I can create and share with you. One of the other tools that I think can come in really handy when you're feeling, let's just say it that way. So you experience emotions, and your body and your mind interpret those emotions and turn them into a feeling. And sometimes we have feelings that don't feel amazing for us, like being sad or anxious or worried, or we're interpreting information all the time, and we're getting that information, from how our body reacts to it, because our body is such a phenomenal barometer for measuring what we're experiencing and how we're interpreting it. But that is the key word. Remember, if you are experiencing a feeling of worry or anxiety or doubt or uncertainty, that feeling is a sign for you to pay attention so you can use it as a solution to shift the way you're feeling about something. Because I think it's really important to remember that when we feel triggered by something and we have a particular feeling about it, that trigger is showing up for us for a reason. And I'm trying to think of a really good example of that. I'm trying to think of things that trigger me. What triggers me? I think the older and wiser and more self-aware we get, our triggers tend to just sort of like kind of fall by the wayside, and they, are off our vibrational radar. But okay, here's a trigger. I'm one of six children. I am the only child of six who prefers to sleep in late. I definitely like to roll out of bed at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, way back in the day, when my mom woke me up to go to school. It was definitely a thing. Like my sister would jump on the bed and, like, whatever, lazy Sherry didn't want to get out of bed. And so I'm definitely not lazy. I love and enjoy working and creating things in my life, but I tend to want to do it from like 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. Let's just say, or I like to work weekends and Monday through Friday, right? So I'm definitely not lazy, but it definitely got in my head with my siblings all waking up at the crack of dawn the way that my mom has always done. And I definitely got the reputation in the family of being the lazy one. Um, and so even to this day, we'll joke about it now for sure, with my parents. We'll joke and, oh, yeah, I'll call you on Sherry time. And so I know that that's a thing. And, time, that's another construct that, spiritual people don't pay, I don't think, as much attention to. But for sure over the years, it's like, oh, don't even bother calling Sherry before 9. Like, she stays in bed and she's lazy. That's a trigger for me. How do I get out of it? Well, I could tell the person I'm not lazy, or I know that I'm not lazy. I know that I'm not. I work really hard. I love it and enjoy it. and I do it on my own time. It definitely falls out of the singular point of view that the early bird catches the worm and that's the only way to do it. And so for me, over the years, I turned it into a joke. I recognize the fact that I'm creating all the time, anyhow, on my own time and in my own way. And so it's no longer a trigger for me. But you see what I'm getting at? If something is triggering you, look it in the eye and decide how you're going to shift it. How can you shift your mindset? How can you shift your perception? How can you rewire a thought or even ask a bigger question like, I know that I'm not lazy, so why is this even bothering me? And then let it go. Just let it go. But the thing about these triggers is that it really does give you an opportunity, I think, to see why you're reacting. Ask yourself, is it true for you? It is definitely a journey in like increasing your self awareness. Ask if it's true for you. And the bigger part of it that I haven't mentioned is this: if you're feeling terrible about something or anxious about something, that is your body's feedback mechanism to let you know energetically, that the bigger feedback system to let you know that the thought you're thinking is not the thought that you need to be thinking. So if you're feeling anxious because you're responding to something in your life, rather than wallow in the anxiety, lean into the anxiety and think the opposite thought. Think the opposite thought that created the anxiety. Tune into how it makes you feel. Your body, your feelings, we are so connected energetically to all that is. And it goes back to the beginning of the video, non-duality. We are connected. We are one mind. We are all one mind in this amazing energetic quantum field. So if it feels bad, if it doesn't feel good, think another thought, find another solution. You can always shift the way that you feel about something. There's always another perception, mindset. And if you're feeling it at the 3-dimensional level and like intellectualizing how you're feeling at the 4th-dimensional level doesn't work for you in that moment, lean into the energetic aspect of who you are. Remember who you are: an eternal, brilliant, always connected, creative, amazing, beautiful soul. No one ever, other than you, can take that away from you. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe. I would love a comment. What's resonating with you? How do you feel? Did this video help you in any way, shape, or form? I'd love for you to click that like button. And I'm going to put a link in the description box below for you to sign up for my newsletter so then you can have access to all the really cool stuff that I am creating. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, whenever you may be watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.